Simon, as an impressionable young person, I was convinced that I'd be a chef. Not just any chef, but a TV chef. What a grand life. What a grand life it would be. Your own TV show, your own best-selling books. You could swear at people and people think it's funny. Kitchen full of admiring staff and a signature chocolate ganache that would mean men and women swoon at your feet. And all this, Father Simon, because of the TV show Ready, Steady, Cook, which I absolutely loved. So anyway, back to reality and fast forward to my GCSE years and my options. I decided to pick home economics, which quickly changed to food technology or food tech. But anyway, always a passport to glamour. But one fateful Wednesday afternoon, I turned up to my food tech class, realizing that I had forgotten my cooking ingredients. Now, not wanting to get another school detention and explaining to my mum why she'd have to be picking me up again an hour later than the bus, I approached my teacher, Miss Arbuthnot, and explained that I didn't have my cooking ingredients. But before she had time to shout at me, I explained that my dad had lost his job and getting the ingredients was unfortunately the least of my mum and dad's financial worries. This, of course, was a lie. My dad was working full-time as a plumber, as he had been all my life. I might have hammed this up a little bit. My eyes might have been redder than usual. My lips may have trembled. Miss Arbuthnot was normally a very hard woman, ferocious indeed, and didn't particularly like the cheeky, chappy personality I displayed regularly in her class. However, my story was clearly good enough and my acting basic enough, and Miss Arbuthnot suddenly softened and said for me not to worry, and all I had to do was to write out 5 recipes that I wanted to complete for my GCSE assignment. I couldn't believe that it had worked, and I dodged the detention. I sat there during my 90-minute lesson and I wrote out the 5 things I'd like to make for my assessment. Most of them, your Nigel would be more than happy to present on a Thursday, as he's about to do. I handed it in and I forgot all about it. Move on a week and I arrive again, having forgotten my cooking ingredients. I was beginning to suspect that being a chef was never going to work for me. I walk into class knowing that I wasn't going to be able to avoid another detention for another week. I took my seat and my classmates started getting their aprons on and prepping workstations. Shuffling around in my bag, pretending to be busy, Miss Arbuthnot approached and explained that she had all the ingredients I needed for my assessment and would I like to have them. Father Simon, I had to keep up this charade for a whole number of weeks as she told me the next 5 assessment meals would be taken care of, that when a member of the school family was in difficulties, everyone should rally round. Had my father found a job yet? No, he hadn't. That must make things really rough at home. Yes, it certainly does. And so on for week after week after week. Now, the reason I'm asking for forgiveness is because I told my own children this story, as my daughter is doing her own food tech GCSE this summer, and I'm worried that they might spill the beans to my mum, who still does not know the truth of it all. If I can gain some forgiveness from you and the team and the listeners, then I'm sure my mum will be able to forgive me. I mean, to be honest, whatever we say and whatever the listeners say, I think is going to be completely irrelevant. I think what your mum says is going to be a key thing here. Okay, so Clive needs some forgiveness. Does he get it? From the very hard taskmaster of Sister Jackie Brambles.
Miss Arbuthnot was on a teacher's wage, which, back in the day was not great. So, no, you're not forgiven for your endless fibs that cost her a fortune supplying you with your ingredients. Definitely no forgiveness.
Did Miss Arbuthnot actually pay for them herself? She may well have done. Who knows?
I would have thought so.
Certainly taking advantage of kind-hearted Miss A, brother from another gutter.
Well, I'm going to forgive, and I think we need to say that obviously Clive thought on his feet there, didn't he? He did very well coming up with this excuse for why he'd forgotten the ingredients. And when you think about it, it is a little absurd that we're expecting the students to turn up with, you're carrying flour and eggs around in your school bag all day, and then just turn up to be able to make a Victoria sponge. That sounds a bit strange to me. Maybe it's the system that's at fault. Yes, there you go. It's the system problem. Yes.
How'd you work that out?
The perfect defence. So for that reason, I'm going to forget. And didn't everyone rally round and all felt very good about ourselves? So yes, definitely forgiven.
Well, they did rally round, but they rallied round for no reason at all.
Well, because of the
It's
system.
all based on a lie.
Yeah, well, we've heard that before.
Yeah, that's true.